Hi guys, welcome to my sweater tutorial. As always, I'm going to start off with the slip knot, and today I will be using a 4.25mm hook. Before I get completely started, I just want to show you a little visual just to help you guys. I have created this diagram. This is how we're going to be working. We're going to be starting with the front and then the back. These are going to be the same exact size, same exact chains, same everything, so that makes this project a lot easier. So to begin, you're going to start off by chaining just enough to reach one end of your hip to the other end of your hip, or one side of your waist to the other side of your waist. Since I'm doing a crop top, I did one side of my waist to the other side, and I did it a little bit loose because that's how I wanted to do it. If you're doing a real sweater, you want to measure from your left hip to your right hip. You could either use a measuring tape, or you can simply just chain it out and then measure it, or you can just chain it out and eyeball it and put it against your body. It really doesn't matter, it's just up to your preference. Since we are going to be working from the bottom up, I measured about 67 chains, and this is for a loose crop top sweater. Now I'm generally a size medium, so if you are a medium and you do want to do a loose crop top style, I would suggest 67. However, with all other sizes and preference, I would be sure to either measure yourself out or put it against your body so it could fit you perfectly. Once you've reached the end of your desired rows, you are going to half double crochet into the second stitch from your hook. So half double crochet is yarn over and insert the hook into the second stitch from your hook, and then you're going to pull through and then yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops. And it's that simple. Yarn over, insert your hook and pull it through, yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops, and you're going to half double crochet your way all the way down your chain, and I will meet you at the end. Now that you have reached the end of the first row, you're going to chain 2 and flip your work around, and then half double crochet onto the next chain like you normally would. You are going to continue this process of half double crocheting all the way down the row, and then chaining 2, turning your work around, and half double crocheting until the end of the row, and repeat this process. You are going to be doing this until you've reached your desired length, which is right underneath your arm where your armpit is, and I'll show you on that visual that I drew for you guys. You are going to do the half double crochet rows until you've reached this point right here, which is going to be underneath your arm at your armpit. I did 32 rows for a loose medium crop top. Yours might be shorter or longer depending on the size of your top, and so do what I suggest to do, which is just put it up against yourself and measure it out. I am going to continue to do my half double crochet rows until I've reached my desired length right at the armpit, and I will meet you guys when you're done. Here I have finished my rows. I did about 32 rows, and you should have what looks like a huge square rectangle looking box, and I will continue on from where I left off on the left hand side. Now we're starting from where we left off, and we are going to start the arm part. So you're going to measure out from the top of your shoulder to your wrist, and again, you can use the measuring tape or you can just chain it out and put it up against yourself. I did about 73 chains, and that's what I measured out from the top of my shoulder to the bottom of my wrist. And it's going to vary for you guys, but I just want to let you know I did 73 chains, and I will meet you after you have chained out the length of your arm. At this point, you should have a chain long enough to fit on your arm from the top of your shoulder to the bottom of your wrist. And we are done with that side for now, and we are going to be going on the other side and doing your second armhole. So at this point, you're going to fasten off on that chain that you made, and I will meet you when you're done fastening off. Since you made one arm for the left side, you're going to go all the way directly horizontally to the end of the row and reattach your yarn into the other end to make your second arm. And this should be the same length. You're going to chain up the same exact length as the other side. So since I did 73 chains for one of the arms on the other side, I'm going to be doing 73 chains again on this side. Once you have finished your chains, you're again going to be half double crocheting your way all the way down. So half double crochet onto that next stitch and half double crochet all the way down this chain. As you half double crochet your way down the first chain, you are not only going to be doing that, but you're going to be doing half double crochet stitches all the way until you reach the body part, and keep continuing to half double crochet all the way up until here, and keep half double crocheting all the way to the end of the other chain. So essentially you're going to be doing half double crochets all the way from one end of chain through the entire body to the other end of the chain. Now this is what you should have so far with the half double crochets. I half double crochet here and all the way down until I've reached my body, and I kept half double crocheting all the way down, as you can see right here, and then again all the way down to the other side. You're going to be chaining up 2, turning your work over, and half double crocheting onto the next stitch like usual, and you're going to be half double crocheting all the way from one end of the chain through the sweater body part to the other end of your arm, and you're going to continue this process. So once you've reached the end, you're going to chain up 2, half double crochet across, and repeat. And I will have the measurements on how many rows you should do on the next clip. Now that I have finished my rows, this is what you guys should have so far. Half double crochets from one end of the arm through the middle to the other side of the arm, and I will post the measurements in 1 second. Starting from when I made my arm chains, from then on I made 12 rows because I'm making a medium. These are the suggested rows for each size on the arm portion. And yeah, what you're basically going to do is make another one exactly like this, because this is the front, and now we're going to make the back. So rewind this video and make your top exactly like this, starting from the bottom. Here I have the back part of my sweater, so now I have 2 of the same exact pieces. We are going to start on any of the bottom right or left corners, and we are going to crochet the sides of our sweaters or sew them. So I will meet you back, and let's get started soon. Stacked my sweaters on top of each other, and I'm starting on the bottom right hand corner. From here on out, we're going to be single crocheting along these sides to connect the 2 pieces together. So here I am just turning my work over so that I can have a better view of it. And I am going to be connecting these 2 pieces together by single crochet. I'm going to insert my hook into one end of the piece, so one corner of the sweater, and then I'm going to connect it to the corresponding end corner of the other piece. Now I'm going to loop my yarn through so that I can connect the 2 together. And from here on out, I'm just simply going to tie a double knot. After you've done that, I'm going to put my hook back into the loops, and I'm going to pull the yarn through the the 2 loops that I have connected. Then you're going to chain 1. Now this is where I'm going to be connecting the 2 pieces together, so you're going to be inserting your hook through both of the pieces. So through the first one and onto the second one, and then you're going to connect that with a single crochet. So again, as you can see, I'm pulling it through both my first piece right here and then my second piece on the back, and then I'm connecting that with a single crochet. You're going to do this along the row until you reach the arm part. I have now single crocheted my way all the way from the bottom all the way to the top where the arm is beginning. And from here on out, we are going to be going to single crochet along the bottom of the arm part, and I will show you in a second. Once you have reached that corner, you're simply going to continue to do what you have been doing, which is single crocheting the 2 pieces together. Except now it might be a little bit easier because now that you are at the arm part, there's actual real stitches on there. So from here on out, you should be able to match the 2 stitches together. So the stitches from the front of the top to the back of the top, you should be matching the stitches together because, as I said before, it's the same exact pattern and it's the same exact number of stitches that you guys have been doing, and so the stitches should be matching up perfectly and evenly. You will be single crocheting along all the way to the end of the sleeve until you have no more stitches left. I have now finished the arm portion. I have finished connecting them together. This part is still open because that's actually the top of the arm where we're going to be doing the lace-up style. So just leave that part alone. And from here, now we're going to fasten off and start on the other side. This is what you should have so far. I single crochet my way from the bottom all the way to the top where the armpit meets and then to the left. And you're going to be doing the same thing on the other side. You're going to start from the bottom and kind of make like a L-shaped 90-degree angle stitch, single crochet stitches. As you can see here, this is the part where I actually have attached, and now you're going to be having to start on the other side. You will now have to reattach your yarn on the other bottom corner and start to single crochet per usual. So single crochet from here and then all the way to here and then to the end of the arm. So basically what you're going to be doing is single crocheting just like you did before, except on the other side to complete the rest of the top. I have now finished attaching both the front and back of my top. As you can see, I have attached the other side and I have attached the arm part, but I have left the top open because that is how I'm going to lace up my sweater. We are almost done with the project, and so let's get started on finishing up and creating the laces for the top part. Starting with your open flapped arm portion, you're going to go all the way down to the end of the arm where your wrist should be, and you're going to insert the new yarn into the last stitch, the top of the last stitch. We are going to be now using a 3.75mm hook, and you're just going to make a slip knot and attach your yarn. Attach your yarn with a slip stitch, and you're going to chain up 4 times. Then you're going to turn your work over. And then you're going to single crochet onto the 4th chain from the hook. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4. So on that 4th chain, you're going to single crochet. And you're going to repeat this process of chaining up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then single crochet onto the 4th stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Onto that 4th stitch, you're going to single crochet. And you're going to continue to do this process. And on the very next clip, I'll actually tell you when you should stop. So you should wait for my next clip. I have now finished my loops, my chain 4 loops, and I have made 23 loops in total. It's important for you guys to know how many loops you have made, because since you want everything to be even, you're going to be making 23 loops on all 3 other arm parts as well. So remember that and keep that in mind, and remember how many loops you have made. Now, when I have stopped 5.5 inches from my body. So from my body, I stopped 5.5 inches, and that's because I wanted the neckline to be a little bit tighter at the top. So if you want a tighter neckline, go more into the sweater. And if you want a looser neckline, I suggest you guys go more towards the left, or stop towards the left of the sweater. Now that I've explained that, we are going to start off where we left off, and that is at the end of the loop, so I will meet you down here. Starting from where you left off, I will be using now a 2.75 millimeter hook. I am now going to be making a long chain that is a little bit more than twice the size of your actual arm, and I will show you what I mean by that in just a second. I just wanted to let you know that I'm starting off with a chain, and wait for the next clip to really see what I'm talking about. So now I'm just showing you what I meant by twice the size of arm's length. Here is my long chain that I have made, and I made about 300 chains that goes all the way down to the arm, so that's 1 arm's length, and then around again, which is double the size, and a little bit more, which is about 4 inches more. And the reason why I did the chain so long and a little bit more than twice the size of your arm is because you have to be able to lace up the sweaters together, and I would rather have a little bit more string on the end just to make sure that my string is long enough. When you have finished making however many chains you want to make, I'm going to single crochet my way back down on the first stitch and single crochet my way back down all the way this long chain until I've reached the bottom. Just single crochet along. Once you are done, I will meet you back down here. Now that you've reached the end, I'm going to switch over to my 3.75 millimeter hook and insert it through. Directly, we're going to be working all the way across the loops in single crochets. Next thing you want to do is single crochet 4 times directly into the chain 4 space. So single crochet 4 times. There's your first single crochet, second, third, and fourth. And now you're going to put a single crochet on top of the connecting single crochet right here. So put a single crochet on top of that one, and simply repeat the process. You're going to do 4 chains in the four single crochets in the 4 chain space. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochets all into that chain 4 space, and then do a single crochet on top of the connecting single crochet right here. You will be doing this process all the way down until you've reached the end of this row. Here I am finishing up my last stitch. Instead of single crocheting, I'm going to be doing a slip stitch into that starting chain that we had made. So slip stitch right there, and you're going to fasten off, pull tightly, and this arm is finished. Now I'm going to go over a brief overview of what to do for the next 3 arms, because it's basically going to be repeating the same process you had just done. As I said before, you're going to be repeating this process. You are going to reattach your yarn to the other arm on the same exact spot on the edge of your arm right here, and then you're going to be doing your chain 4 loops all the way down. That's why I told you guys to remember how many loops you did so you know when to stop. Then you're going to make your chain a little bit more than twice as long as arm's length, and then you're going to single crochet your way all the way back down the chain till you get right here, and then you're going to make your 4 single crochets with 1 single crochet in between all the way down. So you will be crocheting all the way down there. I've already did this side just to show you what it's going to look like. And so here are my chains, and I also did the back side too. And yeah, if you guys need any further help, you can always comment down below, or you can rewind this video to go back to the same exact part where we started from the wrist to the shoulder, back down to the wrist. It's literally the same exact thing that you're going to be doing, just to the other parts of the arm. So I am now done with all 4 sections of my arm parts. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now it's time to lace this up to put it together. You're basically done. You're just going to be doing the crisscross motion. I think this part is pretty self-explanatory, but I will show you a little bit on how to do it. I just grab one end and lace it on to the second loop. And then I'm going to take the other end on the other side and lace it to the corresponding second loop across. And then I'm going to repeat that process. So now that makes an X mark or a crisscross shape. Then I'm going to take the other string and string it through the other loop on the other side. And basically repeat the process, as you can see right here. Taking that string and pulling it through the corresponding next loop. And basically I'm just going to repeat that process until I'm all the way at the bottom. These are what the lace up should look like little X marks. And I'm just going to do that until I reach the bottom. And once I've reached the bottom, I'm just going to tie it in a ribbon or a bow, or double knot it. It's really up to your preference. I just do a bow.